Hi, Rita. Welcome back to the show. I'm so happy to have you here again. It is such a pleasure to have you. You're such a dear friend and a great colleague. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Michelle. I'm really excited for this today.
Yes, we are going to have so much fun just getting into the all the details of functional health and all talking about all things diabetes and just your passion. And it's going to be so awesome. So, why don't you just take a quick second and share a little bit about yourself and just kind of explain what brought you into a functional health mindset? What brought you into that interest?
Sure. Thank you so much. So I knew from the time I was little, I wanted a career in medicine. So I became a physician assistant, and I've been practicing as a physician assistant for over 32 years in multiple specialties of medicine and surgery, and some others as well. And through my long journey of practicing medicine and surgery and my own personal health struggles, it really became apparent that there were a lot of areas that we were not able to help people with, like myself, like many medical practitioners. We do everything, we have a challenge, and then we do everything that we were taught to do in our conventional training. And then we find that we're not getting the results that we want. And then we start to see the pattern in so many of our patients who are also struggling with so many areas of their health, and we don't have enough tools to really be able to help them. So I discovered probably starting about 10 years ago, when you and I worked together, was really the benefits of holistic health and nutritional health and wellness, and really the power of food as medicine. So that was really the big pivot for me, to really focus on healthy lifestyle interventions to really use for patients and my personal clients as the number one treatment method, to help with these conditions. And not that we don't need medication sometimes, but this was really the foundation of optimal health. So that's kind of where it all began.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing. And you have a specialty that you really enjoy focusing on, and that is diabetes, and specifically type 2 diabetes. And, you know, we actually can reverse type 2 diabetes. It's completely reversible. It
Yes.
is so exciting. And I know that you have such a passion for that. So, can you explain what is type 2 diabetes and how can we prevent it as well as reverse it?
Sure. So type 2 diabetes is actually a lifestyle related disease. And 95% of people who are diabetic have type 2 diabetes. So what happens in, our standard American diet, our culture, we have so many factors that can lead to this. But the biggest one is our standard American diet. We have way too much processed food, chemically altered food, toxin laden food, that can lead to, we end up taking in, we call it the sad diet. That's exactly what it is, right? The standard American diet is the sad diet, because that's what can lead to type 2 diabetes, along with so many other chronic conditions. So we have way too much sugar coming into our body than our body is capable of processing. So we have this buildup of sugar. It can't get, we have so much that our insulin can't move all that sugar into the cells, which is its job in order for those cells to be energized and have fuel for our body to function. But we have so much that our insulin is working on overdrive and it can't be really effective. So we develop insulin resistance, and that's what will lead to the type 2 diabetes. So yeah, and I, through the years, working as a PA, I realized I started to see, and of course, the obesity epidemic is, very much, promotes the type 2 diabetes. And I started to see over the years, and then once I started to do the research and saw that over the past 40 years, the rates of the obesity epidemic has increased 2,000%, which I mean is, really like it's like unfathomable, but it's the truth. Those are real statistics. And like 1 in 10 people have type 2 diabetes, which is like over 37 million people. And that's just the United States statistics. This is really a global problem.
Wow.
And working as a PA in the hospital setting and in surgery for so many years, I saw all of the worst complications that you can get from diabetes, like blindness and end stage kidney disease, where you're on dialysis, and heart attacks and strokes and many types of cancers. And when I learned that, we could actually improve this and reverse it, that was like, okay, this is it for me. This is what I need to focus on because it's so transformational. And in our conventional medical model, we don't focus on that preventative care and help people reverse it. The only thing we do is we give them a diagnosis and we say, okay, this is the medication that you need, and try to go eat healthy and go walk more, or lose weight, eat less and exercise more. And that's not enough. That's not the answer. And because it's not taught in medical school, the medical practitioners are not able to teach their patients this information. And it's just so sad and heartbreaking to me. And I've had close family members who have suffered with it. And, thank God, some who have listened to me and been able to reverse it, and other people who didn't and ended up having dementia and Alzheimer's disease, which is also related to too much sugar in the bloodstream. So that's where the passion came from. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true. I mean, just everything you were just saying. And the thing is, like you said, doctors don't get that nutrition training in school.
Right.
And so nutrition is like the furthest thing from their mind when they are talking to patients. They do say exactly that: eat less, work out more,
Hmm.
or cut out red meat and cut out your carbs, but they don't really give a how to.
Right.
And how do you do that? And so that's where the frustration lies in. Also, for diabetic patients in particular, there is very little education involved in talking about things like artificial sweeteners and how that affects your blood sugar and your glucose and your
Mhm.
insulin and all of that. And so it's just really misleading. And a lot of type 2 diabetics, um, they end up becoming type 1 diabetic because they weren't getting maybe all of the answers and the care and the support and the help that they needed from their practitioners. So I can totally respect why this is such a passion for you, because if we can
Yeah.
prevent it, if we can reverse it, let's
Yes.
do it. I mean,
Yes,
let's
and
educate.
millions of people, and that's my mission. I just want to start with helping 1 million, but
Yes.
there's so many millions more. So,
So
yes.
many. And
Mhm.
and that's what we are supposed to do too, as the body of Christ, right? We're supposed to
Right.
start within our family and like go out into all of
Yes.
the world. And so I love that that is such a passion of yours, because it is getting more and more prevalent. And like you
Mhm.
said, we're having the brain disorders as a result, and
Yes.
that is terrifying. And especially as I have had it touch my family personally in a very, very personal way,
Mhm.
walking through that season of Alzheimer's, it is nothing that anybody should go through, but it's happening more and more and more. So, yeah, I absolutely love that. Um,
Yeah.
can you just kind of maybe talk a little bit more about some of the things that you would share with a type 2 diabetic client of yours?
Mhm. Yeah, well, I mean, there's two main things that are kind of a very simple philosophy that are really going to help. And number one is we have to reduce the amount of sugar that we're taking in. And that definitely takes education because there's sugar in everything in the grocery stores. There's hidden sugars. There's like 100 hidden names of sugar that people don't even know that it's sugar, even when they're trying to do better. So we have to learn, where the sugar is, and understand too that, all carbohydrates are actually sugars, so vegetables and fruits are carbohydrates, but they all break down their basic building block is still sugar. So we just have to get educated about our food. I mean, those are the better quality carbohydrates, but we have to learn about the processed food and the packaged food and all these other, high carbohydrate, highly inflammatory, high fructose corn syrup that's in everything. And so we really have to work on reducing the sugar. And then the second thing is work on maintaining and building our lean muscle mass, especially for us menopausal women who have never lifted a weight in their entire life or a resistance band or done any kind of resistance training, because we have to engage these muscles and keep them strong because the muscles need sugar for fuel. So that when you engage those muscles and of your whole body, they use up the sugar that's stored in your body. So we do have to have a good level of fitness. So those are kind of like the basic things. But then there are a lot of other factors that do affect your sugar as well, like our stress and our sleep and our toxins, and our emotions. So those are all factors that I include, with my private clients when I work with them, one on one, because those are all really important too. Yeah.
Right. And as you were talking, it came to my mind that what about the generational pattern, right? Because so many people feel like, well, my aunt has diabetes, my mom has diabetes, my grandma had diabetes, like it's just my lot in life, like this is what I'm going to have.
Mhm.
Like, can you speak to that person that has a family history of it
Yeah,
and give her some
absolutely.
encouragement and hope?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you can change it. I mean, and that has been proven with scientific research. I mean, there are definitely genetic dispositions, if you've had it in your family, that you may have more of a tendency to get it. However, the beautiful thing about the science of what's called epigenetics, is the study of how your lifestyle affects your genes and your DNA, and you have the power to change that, which is so powerful to me. Because even if you have grown up with that environment, and usually the people who say they have it all in their family is because the family all has the same lifestyle, right? They're all eating the same bad food, they're all sedentary. And of course, it's not every family, but we all have the same lifestyle patterns. So that's the part, that's carrying over. But the beautiful thing is that when you start to make those lifestyle changes, you can reverse and transform your health. And then that will also change your DNA, which will affect your offspring and their offspring and their offspring. So, I mean, that's so powerful to me that you can change your genetics, but it's true. And there's plenty of scientific research that supports that.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. What
yeah,
is the phrase in functional medicine? It says something like genetics load the gun, but it's lifestyle that pulls the trigger.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's true.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
And that's just such great hope. I mean,
Yes.
God has given us everything on this earth to utilize. It's really up to us to learn about it and
Right.
find out what is usable and what we,
Right.
take or leave and how it can affect us. And so, yeah, absolutely. And some of
Yeah.
that goes back to like the basics. Sometimes we just
Yeah.
need to clear out the noise of the world, clear out the social media chatter, the latest diets, the latest workouts, all of that, and just get quiet before the Lord
Yes.
and just say, okay, Lord, like I am your daughter. And what is it that you want me to learn?
Right.
I'm trying to get healthy. Help me.
Yes. And that's what he wants for us, right? It says it clearly in his word, right? Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health as your soul prospers. So this is what he wants for us. And there's so many, scriptures that talk very specifically, I have given you every seed bearing fruit upon the face of the earth. This shall be your food, and so many others. And that's where I had to go back to that because, over the last 10 years, kind of in this industry, and trying every diet was recommended in the media and in the science. And I realized there's so much conflicting information. And for your audience too, I want you to know that you're not the only one who's struggling to figure out the right direction, because even with the medical practice You know, people are struggling as well because there's always conflict, meat, no meat, this, that, and for me, after trying all of them, I had to finally sit down and say, you know what, there are flawed studies. Some are good quality, some are not, but there's only one source that I can truly count on that never makes mistakes, and that's my creator. So
Yeah.
what did he give us? And that's when I started kind of like a healthy lifestyles ministry at my church, because I wanted to go outside of the conventional model because they didn't support, these holistic lifestyle and food as medicine. So I prayed about it. I was like, God, how can I help people then? Because I don't have the time or energy to fight against the entire medical establishment and pharmaceutical industry, just little old me. I was like, so what can I do? In my prayer, he just said, teach in the community. Just go out into your community and teach people who want to listen. And that's where I started the Healthy Lifestyles Ministry at my church. Can I shout out to my pastor, Dr. Jeffrey
Absolutely.
Chapman, my pastor I love so much, Dr. Apostle Jeffrey Chapman Sr. from Raleigh North Christian Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Love him so much. So yeah, I teach just holistic health there to the community, and we have a social media page as well that we can get that more information out to more people. I forgot where I was going with that. The About the ministry. Yeah.
Your passion for
Yeah.
that, and then just kind of educating the community, and really,
Mhm.
again, the building up the body of believers and helping them
Mhm.
to understand that it's really about taking back your health, right? It's
Yes,
really about
yes,
saying, like, I'm in charge, like, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and,
yes,
I have the power within me to get healthy, with the support of the Holy Spirit and
yes.
with biblical guidance and everything.
Mhm.
So, it's really reclaiming your health.
Right. I remembered it. It was like when I first then I when I was like, okay, we're doing this now and the ministry is established. And I'm like, what direction do I go now? What do I talk about? Because I mean, health is just such a ginormous field. It's like, what can I focus on? And it was very simple. He just said, remind the people of what I have given them. And that gave me chill bumps. I was like, "Okay." That was very simple and direct. So what did he give us? You think we have to think about when you think about what should you eat, you think about what God gave us before there was grocery stores, before, we went to farmers markets. What did we eat? We lived off of the land. We hunted, we fished, we grew vegetables, we ate the fruit off the trees that he gave us, the nuts and the seeds and the grains that were planted for us. And it was just real whole food. There's no barcodes, there's no packaging, and that's what God designed for us. And He also designed us to be outside in the sunshine, in the fresh air, walking in the grass. And the land, and just moving our bodies, and we've gotten so far away from that with our standard American lifestyle and pandemic, and so much time in front of the computers and not getting outside and working too much, and our lifestyle has just taken a complete nosedive. I mean, even the statistics have shown that our lifespans have been decreasing over the past several years. Our children are dying younger than their parents from these chronic diseases like diabetes, and it doesn't have to be that way. And that's really my mission and passion. It's just to let people know that, and we can fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely can. And I just love your passion. I love your excitement for it. I love how you give tangible tips and tools for your clients so that they can reverse their diabetes and so that they
Hmm.
can live a healthier lifestyle and really reclaim their health. And
Yeah.
it's just so awesome because one thing that I talk to my clients about is, as the mama, or as the woman in the home, you are the heartbeat of the home, and everything you learn will trickle down into the family unit, so the
Yeah.
whole family is healthier. And
Yeah.
it's just a wonderful blessing onto your next generation and the next
Hmm.
generation, like you said. So I just
Yeah.
love that. I love that so much. We do have a few extra minutes, and I'm sure that this is a question that somebody needs to have answered.
Okay.
So with women that are approaching menopause, in menopause, escaped menopause, like weight gain is such a pivotal problem in that belly fat, and it is just really a struggle. Can you explain why we struggle so much with weight loss during menopause, and especially that belly fat?
Hmm. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that women notice that their bodies are changing and they want to fix it, but they just do the things that they used to do when they were younger, and maybe cut back on their calories, or maybe get a little bit more of an exercise routine. But then they find out that that's not working. It's like everything that I used to do is not working anymore, and they get so frustrated that they end up saying, "Well, I guess it's just age. I guess there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it." And it's not true. We just have to learn how to work with the hormonal changes that are happening, because our estrogen is decreasing and we become more insulin resistant, which is, we're not processing the sugar as effectively anymore because of the hormonal changes. So we need to learn a little bit more about the food that we're taking in. Another thing too is our stress. By the time you hit menopause, you've been the super mom, the super wife, the super, entrepreneur, working person, and we're overstressed and overtaxed. And then again, our hormones are going out of balance. So obesity and being overweight is not a calorie problem; it's a hormonal problem. So we have to learn how to work with those hormonal changes. Strength training is so important for us as well. Again, keeping that more lean muscle mass just helps with your overall health, but definitely for your losing weight and improving your diabetes. And it doesn't have to be going to the gym, lifting heavy bars. It could be a yoga class, something gentle. It could be a Pilates class or YouTube video at home with some very light hand weights or a resistance band. Um, so it doesn't have to be super intense, and stop focusing on the cardio. The cardio is not helping. If you notice that, how many times have you been on the treadmill for 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and you're not getting results? And then you go, just go hit the ice cream and potato chips because it didn't
Right.
work, right? So
Right.
focus on the strength training and less on the cardio. And then, we have to be more gentle with our bodies, with our exercise. We can't do those high intensity cardio, the old step classes, and or hardcore jogging on the treadmill. We need to be more gentle. We need to focus on building our muscles, and we need to get more sleep. We need more self-care. We need to reduce our stress, and all of those things help with the weight. Because all those are big factors that will cause obesity, weight gain. We've got to clean up the products that we're using too. As women, we put like probably at least a dozen beauty products on our body every day, from shampoos, conditioners, gels, makeup, body lotions. All these things are cleaning products. They're all loaded with toxins, and those have chemicals in them that are actually called obesogens, because those disrupt our hormonal function as well. So we need to learn about what we're putting on our skin. Our skin is actually an organ. It's the biggest organ of our body, and everything you put on your skin gets absorbed into your bloodstream and goes to every organ system of your body. So we need to clean that up as well. So there's a lot of stuff that we can do. It's totally doable. You don't have to live with the extra tire around your belly, but you do have to be willing to put in the work and make the changes. You can't drink, 2 glasses of wine every night and expect that, you're still going to get that great result. So moderation with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I agree with you, because it has to be intentional changes. You have to
Yes.
make consistent intentional changes if you want to see success, if you want to see the results that you're looking for. And you
Mhm.
can't necessarily be following a plan that is more suited for that 30-year-old body. If you are in menopause, it's just not going to work. I mean, it's it's like the rite of passage, right?
Yes.
It's not the end all be all, right? It's
Right.
not a death
Yeah.
sentence to be going through
Yes.
menopause. It's actually, I mean, with age
Yes.
comes wisdom and grace and
Absolutely.
just so much, so
Yes.
much newness in this season of life. So
Yes.
it's really, really good
Yes.
to put yourself first and care for yourself in this
Yes.
manner with those wonderful tips that you shared. So thank
Yeah.
you for that. That was
My
some really
pleasure.
good,
There is a
yeah.
lot of wisdom in menopause, and we have to honor that. We've come a long way. Once you hit that menopausal years, we've come a long way. We've been through a lot, and we've learned a lot, and we have a lot to share, and we have a lot to teach, the next generations. But we have to honor ourselves first. We really do have to put ourselves as more of a priority, especially at this time of life, because before this, we've always put everyone else first. And then when you see your body and your health is starting to crash and you're breaking down and you're falling apart and you're like, how am I going to get through the next half of my life? And you have to realize that you have to start taking care of yourself and just listen, tune in. When you do that morning, meditation, you spend time with God, just check in with yourself too and just say, what do I need today? What do I need to take care of myself to make me feel a little bit better? Most of the time for me, it's just lay down for about 20 minutes and flat on your back and just breathe and rest or take a little nap. And, it can be something very simple that really can change. I had a client that just, leaving her building, after a long work day, she would leave on her lunch break and just go outside and just eat her lunch outside in the sunshine. It was like, that made all the difference in the world for her to finish out the rest of her day. And it's so simple, so easy that everybody can do, and just stacking all those little changes on makes all the difference, right?
I agree completely. I always tell my clients, like, you can always take 5 minutes a day to take care of
Mhm.
yourself in that manner, to go
Yeah.
outside on your lunch break and breathe, feel the
Mhm.
sun on your skin. Even if you want to walk and eat at the same time, like that's fine, but you need to and you deserve to take that time for yourself.
Absolutely.
And you will be a better uh, wife, mother, daughter, employee,
That's
aunt,
right.
sister, friend. If you do take that time for yourself,
Right.
you will
Absolutely.
fill your bucket. Our buckets are empty, our buckets are dry. Like you
Yeah.
said, we've spent a lifetime caring for everybody else,
Yeah.
and it's time to kind of help ourselves along as we are in a new season. So I love how you
Right.
gave those practical tips. Thank you so much for that.
My pleasure. And as evangelists, we can't do the work of the kingdom if we're falling apart, right? So we have to take care of ourselves so we can do God's work.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Tell my listeners how they can get in touch with you. Give us all your contact information.
Well, the simplest way is just my website, ritabrewer.com. You can reach me there. You can subscribe to my newsletter, get my free download. All my social media links are there. If you're interested in possibly working with me to help reverse your diabetes, or maybe you're just struggling with that menopause weight loss and you're not diabetic, or you want to prevent the diabetes, you can schedule an appointment on my calendar there and book a free call with me. We can have a discussion and see if it feels like a good fit. So, ritabrewer.com. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. And Rita is the real deal, guys. Like she is the real deal. She is as sweet and kind and loving, but also real. And will tell it like it is, to help you out, so that you get that optimal result that you're looking for sure, which really is optimal health. I mean, that's what we're striving for. That's what, is in the Bible, like abundant health, right?
Yeah,
So I love that so much. Well, thank you so much, Rita, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I would love to have you back another time. And this has been
anytime.
so much fun.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Michelle. And I'm so glad for you to have this show because your listeners are going to just love you. You have so much value to share with them too, in a beautiful light and woman of God. So thank you so much, and I look forward to watching more of your shows.
Thank you so much. All right. Love you, girl.
All
See
right.
you
Love you
soon.
too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.